that. Let me make sure my voice is being captured this time. I also need to set up another light. Yep. Ooh. Oops. Go. Okay. Should be a little bit more light at least. Once again, making sure I'm actually talking. That's good. Who? There we go. I forgot to turn my playlist on loop. That's fine. That's why I'm checking everything. All right. Gotta get this open. So there's only 24 packs in this box, which is fine. Thought most of the time it was 36. Sorry about the super zoomed in view. I'm still in the same situation as I was last week, where I just don't really have a great way to set up my camera. This is about as best as I can do. So hopefully I can fix it eventually, but right now it's just going to have to be a little bit inconvenient, and that's all right. Well, there's a whole mess of cards in this set. I don't even know fully what's in it. I don't know if the full list is known or not. I was looking up something else over here. Let's go to... can I just go home? That's home. There we go. Okay. We're kind of going to go through as we open, just because a lot of the non-rare cards here should be worth a little bit. Things like, I think there's I'm actually sure there is the Future Sight printing of Counterspell re-released in this. There's really just a bunch of stuff. So yeah, some of it's worth good, some of it's worth not good. Let's see how it goes. Even Mind Sensor, probably not worth very much, but that's okay. Limiting your opponent on searching their library is pretty good. Oh, let me pull that up. If an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of that library instead of the entire thing. It's got flash, so you can just let it jump in. So that's cool. Wall of Swords. That is indeed a defender, isn't it? Shipwreck Dowser. I don't know this one. It's got prowess. When it enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from graveyard to hand. Pretty cool effect. It's a little bit pricey. Hydrolash, I know that one. Attacking creatures get -2/-0 until end of turn. And draw a card for 3. Not awful, but there's a lot of cards that are better than it. Mogus's Favor. I don't know that one. I haven't actually opened very much of this set. I'm planning on getting a box in the future of Theros Beyond Death. So, standard enchantment for black, +2/-1, and it has Escape, which is kind of cool. Neat. Jump Home Incinerator. Familiar with that one. I'm very familiar with this one. I have this card in my crappy mono-red burn deck because it's bad. 1 damage to each creature without flying and each player, but if you paid the kicker, then it upgrades that to 4 damage. It's a very bad burn spell, but that's the idea of my deck that I have it in. Elephant Ambush. That is... What is that? Odyssey? 3/3 elephant creature token into play, and it has a flashback cost of 8. I mean, if you have nothing better to pay your mana or pay for your mana, then why not flash it back? Wall of Mulch. Sacrifice a wall. Draw a card. Whenever it attacks, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token that's tapped and attacking. Neat. Ignoble Hierarch. I have so many of these. I have one of these in Chinese. I should go dig it out. That'd be funny. I don't think this one's worth much, but hey, it's in the rare slot, so let's look for it. Ignoble Hierarch. I spelled it wrong. It doesn't say it's in the mystery boosters, but out of MH2, which is where I pulled most of my copies from, it's $1.20. Wahoo! Colossal Dreadmaw. Whoa, foil! Wow, okay, that might be where the money in the entire box is. Let's check that out. Soul Ring. Mystery Booster 2 in a foil. If that's correct, that is a $250 card. I am going to put it in a sleeve right this second. I am also going to text the person that I bought the box from, because that's pretty insane. Okay, gonna have to make sure my doors are locked. Under Construction Skyscraper. This is one of the playtest cards. They have a really fun texture. You can't see I'm touching it. It's actually a different texture coming from the card onto what looks like the piece of paper that's pasted on top. That's really fun. Alright, well, pack 1 was amazing with the foil Soul Ring, so let's find out what's in the next one. Constricting Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have when this creature enters the battlefield. You may exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. That just turns every single sliver you own into an O-ring. Wow, okay. Tenacity. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain lifelink until end of turn and untap them. Nice combat trick, and it also nets you quite a bit of life, probably. Excuse me. Mental Note. Mill 2, draw a card. It's almost like Surveil, but you're forced to discard them. Amoeboid Changeling. Target creature gains all creature types until end of turn. Target creature loses all creature types until end of turn. That's kind of fun. Plague Spitter. What set is this? I think this is... I can't remember the name of the set. It's old. This is an older set. 3-drop, 2/2. It's a horror type creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. When it's put into a graveyard from play, it deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. So it's pretty good at pinging your opponent's stuff to dead. Public Execution. Destroy target creature an opponent controls. Each other creature that player controls get -2/-0 until end of turn. Fairly standard. Exuberant Fuseling, 1-drop for an 0/1. A Phyrexian Goblin Warrior. This must be out of March of the Machines or something. I didn't really get much of that. Trample, it gets +1/+0 for each oil counter on it. When it enters the battlefield and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you put an oil counter on it. So it starts with 1 and then it can get a whole bunch more. Maw Conscriptors. Hey, more goblins. It can't attack unless you have successfully cast a creature spell this turn. It's 1 for a 2/2. So, not too good. Tivyar Stand. X green. Target creature you control gets +X/+X and gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That can basically just be a... what is it? Heroic Stand for 1 creature for 1 mana? Biogenic Upgrade from one of the Rav sets. I don't remember. Distribute 3 1/1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures, then double the number of 1/1 counters on each of those creatures. And it's a 6-drop sorcery speed. Oop, it's not focused all that well. There it goes. Hey, look at that there. Pretty good. I should probably put that in my Abzan deck. Sunlit Marsh. It actually has both types, plains and swamp, so that's cool. That was what? Dominaria Remastered. Arcades the Strategist. That would be Bont colors. It's a 3/5 for 4. Flying Vigilance. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Each creature you control with Defender even, maybe I should say the word correctly, assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. That sounds like a silly card to make a deck around. Let's, you know what, let's check that one. Arcades the Strategist. Arcades the Strategist. What's this one out of? M19 core set 2019 $6, sure. Whiteout. I saw this card in the spoiler list and I thought it sounded great. It's an instant for 1 generic, 1 green. All creatures lose flying. Ooh, I just had a light bulb burn out. That is unfortunate. I don't know if I have a replacement for that. Well, if the lighting is too bad, I'm going to have to find something to fix it, but we'll struggle on for now. All creatures lose flying until end of turn. Sacrifice a snowland. Return whiteout from graveyard to hand. Requires the sacrificing of a snowland, but I think there are some ways to recur lands from grave. I mean, in fact, I know there are. But put that one in the special pile. Memnite with the Future Sight border. That's pretty cool. Gonna take the white border Colossal Dreadmaw out of here as well. Memnite, let's check that one. Memnite out of Mystery Booster 2. This one right here. $5, $4.94. Pretty cool. Hish of the Snake Cult, 2 generic, and what was that clan called? Oh, it was the one I barely played, but it was the one that really just wanted to mill itself to death, because it's in green, black, and blue. I think it starts with a T. It's not Teamer, that's the other one. That one's red, not black. Sidisi is one of the creatures from it. Wow, I'm just having a total brain fart trying to remember what this color combo is called. I'm sure it used to have a different name as well, but I'm trying to think of the one from Khans of Tarkir. Whatever, Bug. 2/5 legendary creature Snake. Nagas and serpents you control are snakes. Will errata this to be true. That's funny. Snakes you control have Daunt, Death Touch, and Poisonous 2. Creature with Daunt cannot be blocked by a creature with power 2 or less. Whenever a creature with Poisonous 2 deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. I don't really have any decks that play around with poison counters. I don't love poison counters. I feel like it takes a lot out of the game for me. I want to either beat my opponent down until they stop moving, or they do the same to me. Or there's some other silly win con that pops off, like, I don't know, Lab Maniac. Something dumb. But it's another one of the playtest cards, so they're not really made for play, they're just made for jokes. Rebuff the Wicked. This is a counter spell in white. There it goes. Counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. I like to have counter spells in other, Barb Spike, other colors. Probe. Yeah, this one's okay. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2. If you paid the kicker cost, target player discards 2 cards from his or her hand. Boomerang, return target permanent to its owner's hand. It's just it's a unsummon, but for any permanent. So that's kind of neat. And I needed to focus again. That light turning off really messed up my whole thing here. Let me go poke at it for a second. Out. That is unfortunate. The lighting is a little bit messed up without that extra light here. So nice if it would just focus up. Come on, focus up. If I can't get this to focus, it's not going to be easy to finish the stream. Come on. The webcam that I'm using is a little old. I borrowed it from a friend back in probably 2014, and they just let me keep it because they upgraded their tech. They were like, yeah, it's okay, you can keep that one. I got extras. Maybe if it has a solid color. Oh, but there's too much shadow. Yuck. This is super grainy and just not nice to look at. Just bear with me a second while I troubleshoot some tech issues. Ugh. There it goes. There we go. Okay. Boomerang. It's even worse angle, but that's all right. I'm reading stuff. Steel Strength. It's 2-drop, 1 generic, 1 black. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and another target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Very standard black support spell, I'd say. Moan of the Unhallowed. 2/2/2 black zombie creature tokens, sure, with a flashback cost. Onslaught, enchantment. It's 1 red. Whenever you successfully cast a creature spell, tap target creature. Sounds like it could be fun. Twin Inferno. Instant. Choose 1. What is this out of? Dom Remastered? Yeah. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy, or target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. Okay, okay. I like it. Ram through, something gets... Oh. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. Standard green support spell. Jade Mage. Token generator. Sure. Trigon Predator. What symbol? It's like the Simic logo. That's cool. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Wow. Oh. Gideon, ally of Zendikar. Until end of turn, Gideon, ally of Zendikar, becomes a 5/5 human soldier ally creature with indestructible that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. 0 is put a 2/2 white knight ally creature token onto the battlefield, and -4 emblem with creatures you control get +1/+1. That is really not a bad Gideon. The emblem is just generally powerful. It's not very expensive to get out. You can just cast him and then alt him immediately. Oh, let's check the value on that, since that's the rare in the pack. Gideon. Ally of Zendikar. Yeah. $1.56. Snow-covered plains. Nice. I need more snow-covered lands. Snow-covered plains. Cheapest one on here is 21 cents. Excuse me. Which art is this? Let's find out. Looks like there's a moon. Nope. Nope. And I love the art. Nope. Nope. Not that one. That's the one that's on the screen. No. 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 Oh, it's a reprint of the Cold Snap art. Okay. Oh, that's really cool. And it has the white border, too. That's really pretty. Sensei's Divining Top? What is with this pack? Or this box, I mean. I don't have a top. This is my first top. So, top. It's a one-drop artifact. It lets you do a lot of stuff with the top of your deck. So, tap 1, you look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You can also tap it to draw a card, and then put Sensei's Divining Top back on top of its owner's library. This is a really good fidget artifact, I think is what they call it. It just lets you move around stuff on top of your deck. It has evasion if somebody tries to target this with like well, Accursion Grip would kill it because of split second, but if they're trying to hit it with a disenchant or something like that, it can just pop itself back on top of the deck. Or if there's a board wipe for artifacts, you can pop it back to the top of your deck. It's got good evasion. Gobland. Land creature, mountain goblin. That is so cute. It's like a Dryad Arbor, but it's a goblin instead, and it can't block. That's funny. All right. What's next? Seraph of Dawn. Not a great angel. Suture Priest. It's the opposite of aristocrats, excuse me. Kind of neat. Zephyr's Embrace. That card looks so familiar. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, gains flying, and Shroud. Ruin Crab. I recognize this one too. 1-drop crab, landfall. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 3 cards. Blessing of Leeches. I hate it. Liliana Spectre. I know that one. Desert of the Fervent. It's a desert. Interesting, though. Renegade Warlord. 5 for a 3/3 first striker. When it attacks... Oh, it's got Battle Cry. Yeah, cool. Battle Cry is a pretty good keyword. Ah, Viridian. Well, hello, light. The light just decided to turn itself back on. I'll take it. Viridian Shaman, when it comes into play, destroy target artifact. It's a disenchant on... Well, not a disenchant. A shatter, I guess. A shatter on a 2/2 body. So, that's pretty good. Monstrous Growth. Wow, that is an old art for that card. That's super cute. I love it. Ghost Town. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Return Ghost Town to its owner's hand. Use this ability only during another player's turn. Well, if for some reason somebody's destroying all your lands, you can always pop it back to hand. So that's useful. Alea. Artful Provocateur. I don't know what that word is. That's not a real word. Oh, you know what? I forgot to look up Sensei's Divining Top. Sensei's Divining Top. Sensei's Divining Top. Out of Mystery Booster 2. $24.30. 29 cents. You know what? I'm just going to make a different stack of cards. There we go. Alila. Artful. Provocateur. A cheer. Yeah, whatever. This one's saying it's out of Throne of Eldraine, so that's a cool 61 cents. It does look fun, though. Ooh, Wish! That's cool. Wish is fun. Wish. There's a lot of different wishes. How about the wish that is just Wish? $1.25. Engineered explosives. Sunburst, 2-sack engineered explosive. Sacrifice engineered explosives. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on engineered explosives. Engineered explosives. Mystery Booster 2. $3.84. It's a little bit off center. Wise Drafter's Will. It's a 1 blue enchantment. Your opponents play with their hands revealed. Sacrifice it for 1 blue to draw a card. Sacrifice it with 2 blue to counter a spell. Kind of cool to have an enchantment on the field that you can blow up to use as a counter spell. Next pack. Ghostly Prison. That's a good enchantment. I remember that one. Trying to adjust the camera just a tad so that I can maybe have a little bit less of a angled view. I don't have very much room with the cable. I might just be able to find like a USB extension cord and be totally fine. But for right now, I'm just kind of struggling. Not a big deal. Ghostly Prison. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature attacking you. Awesome. Great card to kind of put a stranglehold on combat. Desperate Lunge. I recognize this. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end turn. You gain 2 life. Nice. Referee Squad. It's a homunculus. It doesn't look too great. Whatever. I'm just going to kind of move through until I find something interesting. Warped Opportunist is pretty okay. Big score. Draw 2 cards and create 2 treasure cards, and you have to discard a card as an additional cost. Unchained Berserker. Ooh, protection from white. Gets +2/+0 as long as it's attacking. Broodhatch Nantuko. When it's dealt damage, put that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens into play. Nice. Might of Old Corrosa. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you played this spell during your main phase, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn instead. Shimmerville Drift. Rotting Regisaur. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Let's check that one out. from Core 2020. Yep. $2.10. Hey, Reliquary Tower. I love a good Reliquary Tower. 174 for that one. Hoodwink. Return target artifact, enchantment, or land to its owner's hand. Wow. Bouncing a land is rude. $0.82. Orb of Origin. 0 mana drop. Or, sorry, 0 mana cost. Poly artifact. Tap 2, add 1 mana of any color. Other non-creature artifacts are mono and continuous. Each activated ability of mono artifacts costs an additional tap to activate if its cost doesn't already include tap. As long as a continuous artifact is tapped, it loses all abilities. Interesting. I don't think these test cards really have value because it says they're not really intended for play. Yeah, it says 46 cents. I think they're mainly just fun things to try out every now and again rather than things that you're actually supposed to have in your deck. I already got the best card, Spirited Companion. We love Spirited Companion. Just a dog. Ooh. Oh, I thought that's a Sea Serpent. Sea Scryer. 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source. Okay. Oh, colorless or blue, but blue you have to tap a generic 4. Flux Channeler. Yeah. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, proliferate. That's a really good way to get proliferate triggers. Wicked Past. Destroy 2 target non-black creatures. You lose 5 life. Wow, in Commander, sign me up. I don't need that life total. Experimental Synthesizer. Reckless Impulse. Frog Tongue. When Frog Tongue comes into play, draw a card. Enchanted creature gains reach for 1 mana. Reclamation Sage. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's just a Viridian Shaman, but nope, it's exactly the same. Cavern Harpy. Demir colors for a 2/1 flyer when it comes into play. Didn't order from a Psycho House beat. Nexus of Fate. That is indeed a mythic rare card, but I don't think it's worth anything. Nexus of Fate. $2019. $12. $12.75. Sure. Take an extra turn after this one. It's an instant speed too. Interesting. If it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it. Wait, reveal Nexus of Fate and shuffle it into its owner's library instead. That's interesting. I thought it would say, oh, you just exile it after you cast it, but no, it's put back into your library. Dryad Arbor. Hey, look at that. We got the Gobland, and now we have the Dryad Arbor. Dried Arbor out of Mystery Booster 2. That's a cool $4.31. That's pretty good. Rest in peace. Ew. Get it out of here. No, I don't like it. Rest in peace. Rest. Rest in peace. Out of... Where'd it go? That one. Mystery Booster 2, $1.84. Not the most valuable, but hey, not a big deal. Dwarven Confluencer. 3 for a 1/1 dwarf. That is a funny looking dwarf. Destroy target non-token land. Its controller creates a mana confluence token. It's a land with tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Okay, so you can strip mine your opponent and give them mana confluences. I see. Token lands aren't really something that you get access to very often, so... Sentinel Sliver. Slivers you control get vigilance. Yeah, sure. Spirit Link. Enchanted creature gets fake lifelink. It's not the keyword lifelink, so they actually stack. That is just a German card. Why is there a German card in my pack? Geppenzerter Wasser Wanderer. Sure. My German is awful. Tomb Raider. Unseal the Necropolis. Yeah. Here is Downfall. Ooh, that's a good one. Crimson Fleet Commodore. That's a fun card. You become the Monarch when it comes into play if you're playing with that rule. Fire Blast. You can sacrifice mountains instead of paying the cost, and it deals 4 damage to target creature or player. Good on a budget. Well, a budget as in the cost of the spell, not the cost of the card. I don't actually know how much it is. You know what? Let's pull it up. I have the technology. Fire Blast. And it's out of old set. I think this is what, 5th edition? No, this is just the list. There is not even a cost associated with this. It just exists. Salvage. 1 green. Take any 1 card from your graveyard and put that card on top of your library. That seems like a pretty green support spell. Indrik Stomphowler. That's a creature. Sure. Fracture. Yeah. Sure is another spell. Lightning Skelemental. I didn't know this card existed in what's it called? It wasn't Modern Horizons, was it? I guess it was. I thought it was out of what's it called? Outlaw Junction, that's it. Outlaws at Thunder Junction. Trample Haste. Whenever it deals damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. At the beginning of your unstepped sacrifice Lightning Skelemental. It's a ball lightning with an extra ability. Sakura Tribe Elder. Ooh. Maybe I should try spelling it right. Eleder. Yeah. $1. Arena. Tap target creature you control and target creature of an opponent's choice they control. Those creatures fight each other. Nice. It's a land, too. Arena. Good one. $2. The Many Deeds of Belzenlock. Oh, it's a saga. Exile up to one target saga card from a graveyard, copy its Chapter 1 ability. Exile up to one target saga card from a graveyard, copy its Chapter 2 ability. And for 3, exile up to one target saga card from a graveyard, copy its Chapter 3 ability. So it's the mimic of sagas. Could be fun. Oh, they're here. Next pack. Hope and Glory. 2 creatures get +1/+1 till end of turn. Up to, excuse me. Oh no, it is untap 2 target, each of them, yeah. Master of Arms. 3 for a 2/2 first striker. Tap target creature blocking Master of Arms. Pendril Drake. That's a card. Thought Courier. Twisted Abomination. Wall of Blood. Outmaneuver. I feel like Outmaneuver was pretty good. Instant speed, X red. Target blocked creature deal... Target blocked creatures deal combat damage to defending player instead of to blocking creatures this turn. So if you have like your super big dude, and it is getting blocked, you can just outmaneuver, hit them for damage. Speaking of creatures I know, Spite Bellows. Evoke 3, when it comes into play, it deals 6 damage to target creature. Oh no, when it leaves play, excuse me. Atrax's Fall. 1 generic, 1 green, destroy target artifact, battle, enchantment, or creature with flying. Love all the hate on creatures with flying in green. Hey! Squirrel Nest. Generic green enchanted land has tap. Put a 1/1 green squirrel token with... Or sorry, green squirrel creature token into play. Whew. Reading is hard. Prismatic Lens. The Hunt of Hightower. Well, that's fun. Hunt of Hightower, $3.54. Flying Lifelink, 3/3. It costs 4 generic, 2 black. Whenever it attacks, defending player discards a card, and whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a 1/1 counter on the Hunt of Hightower. It is a legendary, so if you're looking to make a mono-black discard deck, I feel like that's a pretty solid commander to have. Hollow One. Interesting. It is worth next to nothing. It is a bulk rare at 91 cents. Hollow One, artifact creature Golem. The spell costs 2 less to cast for each card you've cycled or discarded this turn. And it itself also has cycling. Static Orb. As long as Static Orb is untapped, players can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untap steps. That sounds punishing. Let's check it out. Static Orb. $3.69. Nice. Keeper of the Crown. Human Noble. Ooh, it's got Adventure, I think. No? Oh, it is Adventure. So the other legendary creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Indestructible. And the L in its cost has to be played by a legendary mana source. The other part is Coronation of the Wilds. 2 generic, 1 green. Adventure. Sorcery. Target creature you control becomes a legendary noble in addition to its other types and gains tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Draw a card. Could be fun. Sounds a bit silly. Okay, I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on with my capture, but that's okay. Condemn, what a great card. Just to the bottom of the library with you. Starlight Angel, 5 for a 3/4 flyer. Yikes, that's not good anymore. Tesserit's Gambit, draw 2 cards, then proliferate for 3 generic and 1 blue Phyrexian mana. Good. Return target creature card from your graveyard to play. Sacrifice that creature at end of turn. Heartless Act. Explosive Welcome. Deals 5 damage to any target and 3 damage to any other target. Add 3 red. Goblin Matron. There's a... I know this card is worth a lot for a goblin. Common. I was going to say goblin. Out of... Okay. Let's find it. There you are. Urza Saga, 40 cents. I mean, for a common, 40 cents is not bad. Trumpeting Herd. Create a 3/3 green elephant creature token for 4 mana, and it has Rebound. If you cast the spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. Nice. That's great. Whip Silk. Enchanted creature may block as though it had flying, and you can tap a green to bounce the enchantment back to your hand. Ancient Lumberknot. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Neat. It's also a tree folk. Authority of the Consuls. 1-drop white enchantment. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. I like that ability already. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain a 1 life. Authority of the Consuls. Get it to move up a little bit more. Yeah. Well, now we're just faced with the problem we were looking at before, but there we go. $14.09, yeah, okay. It's I'd say that's it's pretty strong for 1 mana. Environmental Sciences. Out of Mystery Booster 2, it's worth 87 cents instead of 7 cents. Rishadan Port. Rishadan. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Rishadan Port. Mystery Booster 2, $10.17, $10. Neat. Penumbra Umbra. One generic, one green, enchant aura. When Penumbra Umbra is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature, except that token is black. Umbra Armor. If enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. Field of Souls. Seems like a good one. 4 mana. 2 generic, 2 white for an enchantment. Not very valuable, but it's pretty cool. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Your stuff dies, you get spirits. Step links. 1 for a 0/1. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Step links gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah. Rewind is an amazing counterspell. Rewind. This was back in... This art is the old one. That one. Urza's Saga. 38 cents. No, that's okay. Counter target spell, untap up to 4 lands. Really good stuff there. Shoreline Salvager. Underworld Hermit. An axe hardened in the forge. Dwarven Recruiter. Interesting. Seton Scout. His reach and threshold +2/+2. Feral Hydra. Ornithopter of Paradise. Ikra Shadiki the Usurper. That is a name. Usurper. Menace. Oh, sorry. 3 generic, 1 black, 1 green. Menace. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. And it has partner. It is worth a whole... I don't know which one this is, but I'm going to guess it's the Commander 2016 version. $3.63. Containment Priest. 2 for a 2/2. 1 generic, 1 white for a 2/2. Flash. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. That flash makes it real nice. Containment Priest. That one. Mystery Booster 134. Kobolds of Kir Keep. That's a $1 card, and it's a common. Toddler's Rage. It's an aura. Flash, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+1 and has Tantrum. It's like Trample, but for blocking. I'm guessing that means if your creature overkills a creature that it blocks, the excess damage is dealt to your opponent. That wording doesn't make sense, though, because you could take, like, Trample, but for blocking in different ways. Ministrant of Obligation. Yeah, sure. Spirit Mantle is great. Voyager Drake. Murmuring Mystic. Diabolic Tutor. Wow, that's an old printing of it. I didn't realize that the card was introduced in Odyssey. It's probably even older than that, but still. It's Demonic Tutor, but it's twice as expensive. That's all. Fel Spectre. Fiery Impulse. Goblin Taskmaster. That's a fun old art for Rampant Growth. Planar Atlas. Eiley, Eternal Pilgrim. Orzhov colors. Death Touch. 1 generic, sacrifice another creature. You gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. 1 generic and Orzhov colors, sacrifice another creature. Exile target non-land permanent. Activate this ability only if you have at least 10 life more than your starting life total. Worth, well, this isn't a promo, so it's worth 72 cents. Brain Freeze. Target player mills 3 cards. Storm. Wow. That could be a lot of cards getting milled. And I would like you to focus, please. Come on, camera. You can do it. I believe. Oof. There it goes. Storm makes that dangerous. Let's check its price. $6.13. Flusterstorm. Target Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1 generic. Storm. $10.34. Audric Lunar Marquis. 2 generic, 1 black, 3/3. Legendary creature, human soldier. At the beginning of each combat, creatures you control gain banding until end of turn if a creature you control has banding. The same is true for changeling, devoid, fear, flanking, horsemanship, ingest, intimidate, landwalk, shroud, tantrum, wither, and the activated ability sacrifice this creature, add 1 colorless. Oh, so it's like the other one, but with all the bad abilities instead of all the good abilities. All the bad, annoying abilities. That's very funny. That's a great joke. Tireless Tribe. Banisher Priest. Yeah, that's an O-ring that can target creatures and is a creature. Web of Inertia. Seal of Removal. That is an unsummon on a timer, on a fuse. Essence Extraction. Yeah, 3 damage, gain 3 life. Flame Javelin. Interesting. Five for a 3/3 that gets +3/+3 as long as you control no untapped lands. That's a little bit too specific. Symbiotic Beast. When it dies, put 4/1/1 green insect creature tokens into play. Oops, I kicked something over. Alfheim Palace. Elmar. Ulvenwald Informant. Elmar. Ulven. That is a sick 26 cents. Yeah. It does have Friends Forever. And Investigate is kind of cool. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, untap target creature, then Investigate. That's kind of a fun ability. It is worth nothing. Skyclave Apparition. When it enters, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with mana 4 or less. And when it leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the mana value of the exiled card. That's pretty good. But it's only a 40-cent rare. Oh, wait. It might be slightly more out of Mystery Booster, too. Yeah, 93 cents. Yeah. Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshares. That one's probably worth a bit. Yeah, $5. Call from the Grave. 2 generic, 1 black. Put a random creature from a random graveyard into play under your control. Call from the grave deals to you an amount of damage equal to that creature's casting cost. Sure. I mean, that's... Honestly, feel like that's balanced because it is just random. And it would have to include all graveyards in play, even if there are no creature cards in that graveyard. Nope. Samurai of the Pale Curtain. Spell from Soka. Yeah. Cool. Dead and gone. Does sound really good for a self-milled deck. Elemental Bond. Crystalline Sliver. Slivers cannot be the target of spells or abilities. That is Shroud on all your slivers. Settle the Wreckage. 2 generic, 2 white. Instant. Exile all attacking creatures target player controls. That player may search his or her library for that many basic land cards. Put those cards onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle his or her library. That is Settle the Wreckage. Not deadle. Maybe I should settle. Excuse me. $2.83. Umbral Mantle. Ooh. A creature has 3 generic untapped. This creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Untap abilities are wild. Umbral Mantle. $2.06. It's worth way more out of Shadowmoor. I kind of expected the opposite, but that's okay. Future Sight. Hey. Isn't that what this set was named? Two colorless, 3 blue, or sorry, 2 generic and 3 blue. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play the top card of your library. It is $1.48. Womp womp. Sliver of Hope. Slivers you control have hope. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures with hope. That is wildly overpowered. Well, if your opponent has a forest and you have a swamp, you can just drop this dude out of your hand during your main phase. Saber ants. Spore Swarm. Dirigar Hedge Mage. Dwarf Shaman. Giora of the Gitu. Did I spell that right? Wait. Oh, I switched around the O and the I here. To generic, to exile a non-land card from your hand. Put 4 time counters on the exiled card. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Excuse me. Not much here in ways of value. I don't even know what that is. It's might be this one. Yeah. It's $1.06. Mental Misstep. Ooh, counter target spell with mana value 1. It also has the Phyrexian mana cost, so you could just pay 2 life. History Booster 2, 554. Yeah. Mental Misstep is... I mean, I haven't seen the card, but it seems pretty good. You could... you can counter Soul Ring with it. That's pretty good use. Ooh, Brainstorm. That's a good art. Brainstorm. History Booster 2. $9.11. Rule with an even hand. Oh, it's a conspiracy. We don't care about those. Okay, fine. I'll read it. You can't attack with an odd number of creatures. Whenever you attack, double target creature's power until end of turn. Conspiracies are like turbo banned and everything, and those test cards are also turbo banned and everything. This isn't Path to Exile, this is just Exile. Go away. Oh. Beloved Chaplain. Protection from creatures. Surgical Spellbomb. Loftus Changeling. Corpse Augur. Yeah. Sheldred's Edict. A Young Red Dragon. Oh, that's fun. Bathe in Gold. Create a treasure token. A Braid. It's a fun word. Ancestral Mask. Frost Marsh. Snowland. Desertion. Yeah, there we go. Desertion. This is out of Conspiracy. Yeah. $1.94. Counter target spell. If an artifact or creature spell is countered this way, put that card onto the battlefield under your control instead of into its owner's graveyard. Yeah. Good. Karuga, the Macro Sage. It's Wudeng's angry grandma. Not very expensive. It is the highest price I see here. Oh, is the one from Mystery Booster 2 at $1.78. So $2 for another rare. Companion. Your starting deck contains only cards with mana value 3 or greater and land cards. Okay. Cunning Wish. You may reveal an instant card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. Exile Cunning Wish. Cunning Wish. $1.66 for the cool border. Oops. Marchesa's Surprise Party. Another conspiracy. I don't know if there's much reason to read it, but I will. You've cast... Oh, wait. Start the game with this conspiracy face up on the commander zone. Before the game, secretly choose one of the following. During your end step, if you meet the conditions, you may reveal your choice. Okay. Sure. Alright, first mode, you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. Second, an opponent lost 6 or more life this turn. Or there are 9 or more cards in your graveyard. And then your reward is that you get to draw a card. So once you do all that, then you get to draw a card. One single card. Cudgel Troll. Edgewalker. Smuggler's Copter. In the rare. Maybe I should spell it. $2.36. Days. 1 generic, 1 blue. You may return an island you control to its owner's hand rather than pay for the spell's mana cost. Counter target spell unless its controller pays $1. Giver of Runes. Ooh, another target creature you control gains protection from colorless or from the color of your choice until end of turn. Wow. Giver. $4.67. Jeskai Baller. 2 generic, 1 white. When you cast the spell, create a 1/1 white athlete creature token. That rebound is so complicated, I don't even want to read it right now. Karoo. Let's look this one up. It actually taps for 2 mana. Seven. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, it's just this one. Yeah, Visions. 57 cents. Karoo. Resolute Reinforcements. Ideas Unbound. Skywatcher Adept. Serious Pilgrimage. Rupture. Sacrifice a creature. Rupture deals damage equal to that creature's power to each creature without flying and each player. Spider Silk Armor. Innkeeper. Scribage Towers. God dang it. I can't read that. It just looks like a big 10/10 dinosaur for 5 green mana. It's a generic. Oh. Well, that looks like. Is that foil behind it? Oops. Drop my last card. Thespian Stage is great. Thespian Stage can often be a major issue. Thespian Stage. Out of you. $1.16. Okay. Usually I feel like it's more than that. Hogak, Arisen Necropolis. You cannot spend mana to cast the spell, Convoke, and Delve. You may cast Hogak, Arisen Necropolis from your graveyard. Trample. It is just a big dude, and he wants to come out. He wants to come out, but he doesn't want you to actually pay mana for him. $2.15. Do you think if you're running a self-mill deck, that's pretty good. Mother's Yamazaki. Partner with itself. So it's 2 generic and Boros colors for a 2/2, and it has partner with itself. When this enters, target player may put Mother's Yamazaki into their hand from their library, then shuffle. A commander deck can include 2 of this card, and they can be your commanders. As long as you control exactly 2 permanents named Mother's Yamazaki, the legend rule doesn't apply to them, and Samurai you control get +2/+2 and have vigilance and haste. Moving on. Hey, look at that. Mother of Runes. Mother of Runes. This is out of... Oof. That one. Excuse me. Well, no price listed, but most of the prices seem to be more than $5, more than $6. So maybe like $6.80 somewhere in there. It's good for a common, or an uncommon, I mean. Loam Lion, I have one of those. Acquisition Octopus. Witching Well, excuse me. Reign of Filth. Ew. Disturbed Burial. Blade Sliver. Evolution Sage. It's not a bad one. Poison Tip Archer. Reach Death Touch. Nice. Insult Inquiry. Insult damage can't be prevented this turn. If a source you control would deal damage this turn, it deals double that damage instead. I like it. Injury. Aftermath. Cast the spell only from your graveyard, then exile it. Injury deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. No. 2 damage to target creature, then 2 damage to target player. So check that one. Insult / Inquiry. Oh, Injury. Pfft. How the heck did I write that down or wrong in my head? Adding insult to injury. Yeah, 67 cents. That doesn't surprise me. Snitcher's Supplier. 1 black for a zombie. When it enters the battlefield or dies, mill 3 cards. That sounds pretty good for a self-mill too. Snitcher's Supplier. Mystery Booster 2. 67 cents. Okagachi Vengeful Kami. That is a really pretty border for it. I forgot the E in Vengeful. There we go. $2.50. 1 generic, then Wooburg for a 6/6 flying trampler. When it deals combat damage to a player, if that player attacked you during their last turn, exile target non-land permanent that player controls. That is just mean. Ruined Terror. Elemental Champion for 6. Instead of taking turns as normal, players take their phases sequentially. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. Yuck. I would not play that game. That game would be stupid. A Quarter Paladin has Battlecry. I think that's about the only thing I know about a Quarter Paladin, because I think that's the only thing interesting about a Quarter Paladin. Otherwise, it's just 2 for a 3/1. And his typing is pretty generic. Human Knight. Goblin Wizardry. That's funny. Stand together. Hold on, Mystic. Ooh. Shuko. Hazoret. Hazoret the Fervent. Fervent. $1.16. Yeah. Hey, that's a Planeswalker. Sarkhan Fireblood. 3 with 1 generic and 2 red. +1, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. +1, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells. Or -7, create 4/5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. I don't know if this is a very good one. Oh, it's just Sarkhan Fireblood. There we go. $2.37. Ancient Stirrings. $2.56 for that one. Processing plant. I'm just going to skip through those. Now, these are funny, though. Ulamog's power plant. Enters tapped. When it enters, you can put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, untap it. And then shuffle their library. You can also tap Processing Plant to create white, blue, black, or colorless mana. Next. We're looking a little light on packs here. There's 4 more after this one. So that's 5 overall. Which is good. Trying to get done before 10. Restoration Specialist. Neat. Sunblade Angel. Coldwater Snapper. Yeah. These 2 gigs. Smash to dust. Smash. Slippery Boggle. Hexproof before hexproof. Cataclysm. Wow, wowee. 2 generic, 2 white. Sorcery speed. Each player chooses from among the permanents he or she controls an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a land, then sacrifices the rest. Wow. Cataclysm. This is kind of cool. It's the art from the card released in From the Vault Annihilation, but it's not foil. That's kind of neat. Ooh, a Thornbite Staff. There are some really goofy things you can do with this stick. Equipped creature has 2 colorless tap. This creature deals 1 damage to any target, and whenever a creature dies, untap this creature. Whenever a shaman creature enters, you may attach Thornbite Staff to it. Only ever released in Morningtide? Wow. 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 Okay, cool. Well, it got reprinted here. And it's worth like $8.50. Oath of Druids. Enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses target player who controls more creatures than they do and is their opponent. The first player may reveal cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. If the first player does, that player puts that card onto the battlefield and all other cards revealed this way into their graveyards. That is a 2-drop enchantment. 1 generic, 1 green. That seems pretty good. That seems like a really good way to cheat creatures out. Oath of the Druids. Oath of Druids, not the. I keep sticking the in. $2.81. And Boltfire. You know, whatever. 1 red Boltfire deals 2 damage to any target. It's a sorcery speed. Flash forward. 4 generic 1 red. You may cast this card from exile for its flash forward cost. Then put it on the bottom of your library. It has to get exiled first. It doesn't just exile itself when you cast it. So that's a bit of a pain. Thorpen Watcher. Davu something or other. Omen. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and return them in any order you may choose to shuffle your deck, then draw a card. That is like Scry before Scry did what it did. There's a lot of cards that did this effect. Let me actually look it up. Omen. Would like just Omen, please. There we go. Yeah. Here's another Sage Owl is one I remember really well. Sage Owl. When Sage Owl enters, look at the top 4 cards in your library, then put them back in any order. It doesn't let you send them to send them to bottom of your library, but that didn't really get added until later. Symbol of Unsummoning. Yeah. Mindrak Harpy. Throat Splitter. Destroy target non-black. Punishing Fire. Scrapwork Mutt. Leatherback Baloth. Timur Sabertooth. Angel's Trumpet. Whoa. Attacking does not cause creatures to tap. That just gives everything on the battlefield vigilance. At the end of each player's turn, tap all untapped creatures he or she controls that did not attack this turn. Angel's Trumpet deals 1 damage to that player for each creature tapped this way. Wow. Okay, so that's interesting. Teferi. Mage of Zalafir. 2 generic, 3 blue for a 3/4. Flash. Creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield have flash. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime he or she could cast a sorcery. Ooh. That is a cool way to limit your opponent. It is worth $1.93, just under $2. Isochron Scepter. Pfft. Isochron Scepter out of Mystery Booster 2, 756. 2-drop artifact, imprint. When it enters the battlefield, exile an instant card with mana value 2 or less from your hand. 2 tap, you may copy the exiled card. If you do, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. It gives you a really good way to just cast as many counter spells as you want, but once per turn, unless you have a way to untap this. Because that's pretty good. That's a pretty good thing to be able to do, having multiple counter spells just available on the table. I mean, it lets your opponents kind of play around it, but still. Echo of Eons, sorcery. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. It's a 6-drop. It is also foil. I'm going to get a sleeve ready. I'm going to look up the value of that first. Echo of Eons. Mystery Booster 2. $11.10. Foil says it's $145, but I'm not sure if I believe that cost. That's kind of cool, though. I have a funny idea with what to do with this card if I don't just sell it. This is another one of the cards that I saw on the spoiler. It is so dumb. Luxior Ignited, a 4-drop legendary artifact planeswalker equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on Luxior Ignited. It starts off with 1 loyalty, I believe. +1, attach this equipment to up to 1 target creature you control. -2, equipped creature gets +2/+2 and gains double strike until end of turn. So stupid. That is so dumb. It's a planeswalker that you can hand to your creatures. We're down to the last 3. Destroy Evil. Birth of Melodies. Or Meletis. Cerulean Wyvern. Force Spike. A counter target spell unless its control plays 1. Cabal Pit. Tap, add 1 black to your mana pool. Cabal Pit deals 1 damage to you. Threshold, black tap, sacrifice Cabal Pit. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Whatever. Corpse Connoisseur. Mog Raider. Swelter. Swelter deals 2 damage to each of 2 target creatures. Gemhide Sliver. All slivers have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Good one. Presence of Gond. Enchanted creature has tap, put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token into play. Star Compass comes into play tapped, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any color a basic land you control could produce. Swans of Bryn Argol. Interesting. That's 2 generic and 2 split Azorius mana for a 4/3 flyer, Bird Spirit. If a source would deal damage to Swans of Bryn, our goal prevent that damage. The source's controller draws cards equal to the damage prevented this way. I am upset that the commander deck that I'm working on right now doesn't have white in it. It does have blue, but it doesn't have white, so you can't run that. Swans of Bryn Argol. 69. Oh, $1.16 because this is. Wait, no. This is the Modern Masters one. Dang. It's the cheaper one, 69 cents. Wishclaw Talisman. $1.90. It enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters. 1 tap, remove a wish counter from Wishclaw Talisman, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. An opponent gains control of Wishclaw Talisman, activate only during your turn. It's the Monkey's Paw. Walking Ballista. Oh, excuse me. Why did it change into Spanish? Mystery Booster. There we go. Walking Ballista enters the battlefield with X+1/+1 counters on it. Its converted mana cost is actually 0 because it has 2 X's in its cost. You can tap 4 to put a 1/1 counter on it, and you can remove a 1/1 counter from Walking Ballista to deal 1 damage to any target. It is worth $10.64. New Master of Arms. 2 generic, 1 white. Creature, human, soldier. First strike. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by blocking creatures that are tapped. Generic white. Tap target creature blocked. Sorry. Tap target creature blocking new Master of Arms. Pretty sure I pulled a Master of Arms earlier in the pulls. Jeez, it's been so long already. I don't even remember. I'll have to go through this again later anyway, so. Sorry, this is taking a second. I'm just running through the cards that I've already opened because I'm pretty sure that name looks familiar. And it would be kind of funny if I pulled the card that it was based off of. When the card is kind of old and... Yeah, there it is. Master of Arms. First strike. Tap target creature blocking Master of Arms. It's the same thing, but this one has the other ability. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by blocking creatures that are tapped. I mean, it's really hard to get a blocking creature tapped. But that's fun. They have the same CMC, same power toughness. Actually, I think Master of Arms had like one different. No, it's a 2/2. Okay, I was wrong. All right. 2 more packs. Prava. As long as it's your turn, creatures, tokens you control get +1/+4. And you can tap mana to make white soldier creature tokens. That's going in soldier deck for sure. Shieldhide Dragon, Flying Lifelink, Narcolepsy. Each player can't play more than one spell per turn. Arcane Laboratory. That is a really good way to slow the game down. Vampiric Link. That is a really cool border. Kind of had to look at it. Really interesting. That's Time Spiral, maybe? Vampiric Link. Planar Chaos. That's it. I mean, it's a common that's $1.23. I guess all these cards in the set are technically list cards because they have the little doodad down at the corner. Incremental Blight. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Then put 2 -1/-1 counters on another target creature, and then 3 -1/-1 counters on a third target creature. That's kind of cool. Gets progressively worse. Well, for your opponent, not for you. Cindercloud. Destroy target creature. If a white creature is put into a graveyard in this way, Cindercloud deals damage to that creature's controller, an amount of damage equal to the creature's power. Screw the critics. Pollen Blight Druid. Salt Formation. Patriarch's Seal. Ooh, untap target legendary creature you control on that bottom bit. There we go. Maximus, Goblin Grandee. That's fun. Oh, Muxus. Muxus. Let me read the word right. Goblin Grandee. It's like less than $8, $7.50-ish. When it enters, reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put all goblin creature cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. When it attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other goblin you control. Dang, that's a goblin. That's a 99 goblin card for sure. Archon of Emeria. 2 generic, 1 white for an Archon with flying. Oh, it's 2/3. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Oof. $1.24. Crashing Footfalls. No converted mana cost. It has suspend 4 for 1 green, and you create 2 4/4 green rhino creature tokens with trample. 2 of them. All you have to do is wait a few turns. Wow. Nuts. Just under $7, $6.41 or 91 cents. Value Town. You can take a trip to Value. Excuse me. For 4 generic, and is it? It's a sorcery adventure. Draw 2 cards. This spell deals 2 damage to each opponent. And then you exile it, and you can play the land later from exile, which, I mean, if you didn't... That's fun. I like the lands that they came out with. I think the lands are pretty nice. The Gobland is just funny because it's a goblin, and it's a land, and it can't block. Syndicate of Tithes. Mistvale Plains. Put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Activate if only if you control 2 or more. Permanents. Yeah. These are... Bad deal. Bad. Frostblade Boar. Ancient Silverback. Dread Lenorm. Scale Deflection. 2/1/1 counters on target creature. Untap, gains hexproof. Can be blocked by creatures with power 3 or less. Chromatic Sphere. Sacrifice Chromatic Sphere. Add 1 mana of any color. Draw a card. Nice. Mog Infestation. 3 generic, 2 red. Destroy all creatures target player controls. For each creature that died this way, put 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield under that player's control. Wow, I would love to blow up my field and replace it with twice as many goblins. That sounds nuts. Not worth much. $8.39. That's the original. The other one is Tempest Remastered. Or the list. This is a list card, I think. There's not a very good price on this. We'll say it's $10. Whatever. Soul of Theros. 4 generic, 2 white. For an avatar, a 6/6 avatar with vigilance. It's cost again, so 4 generic, 2 white. Creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain first strike and lifelink until end of turn. Wow. And you can also pay 4 generic, 2 white and exile it from grave to give it the same, give your creatures the same ability. It is an 82-cent card. That is not very good. Life tap. Whenever a forest an opponent controls becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. That is such a hilarious enchantment. It is worth 82 cents. Glade of the Pump spells. 2 generic, 1 green for a land, and you must pay 3 to play this land as your land drop. It is also green. When the Glade of Pump spells enter the battlefield, up to 1 target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn, and it also taps for 2 green. That's hilarious. I really like all the lands they did. Well, I think the biggest card that I got was definitely the foil Soul Ring out of the first pack. It's in a nice case now. I don't want to booger it up any more than I probably already did. Let's look at that price again. It was a little bit unclear, but... Mystery Booster 2. So the base one is $10.75, but since this is foil, I scroll down here, buy foil on TCG Player, $252.37. Yeah, that's pretty good. I really wanted just the standard version, but I got the foil, and I'm probably going to wind up selling the foil just because it's too expensive. I don't want to have a card that's worth that much in my deck. It's too much. I'd rather just cash out, you know. So, good deal. Some pretty fun pulls in the random stuff. Just a really fun set overall. I enjoyed it. And there's not much more for me to say here, so this coming Tuesday, I am planning on doing a stream with a friend where I am doing a Soul Link in Pokemon. We're going to do Pokemon Emerald. So if you're interested in Pokemon, come swing by and watch. I'll probably put a community post out as well. And, yeah, well, thanks for tuning in, even if you're watching the recording later. Goodbye.